Welcome to the Inevitable Radio Show with your host, William Sumner. Today's topic, we will be discussing the mysteries of the mind. We're going to go into some psychology, and Bill is an expert at neuro-linguistic programming, so he's going to be enlightening all of us on how this amazing tool can affect each and every one of our lives.
Good morning. One of the things we were touching on, is there this genetic disposition or predisposition to do addictions? And the answer is absolutely yes, there is. Now, what happens in most addicts' brains when they first experience the chemical addiction that they have attached to, whether that's alcoholism, whether that's food, whether that's Ritalin. You may be chemically addicted to Ritalin. I work with a lot of depressed and clinically depressed people that they don't want to be on antidepressants, but it's what professionals are telling them they need to do. They need to change their physiology. The brain is broken. You're biochemically broken. Now, there's been a lot of studies and research, recent research. I want to go through for you the process by which the brain creates your blood chemistry. When your brain knows the meaning of a moment, and it knows the meaning of the moment because it's constantly scanning its environment, it's taking in, on average, over 4 million bits of information every second. 4 million bits of information every second. And it is taking that information and going, I know what this moment means. This moment is safe. This moment is dangerous. This moment is good. It's funny. This moment is bad. It's sad. It's tragic. It's anxiety. Whatever the brain determines that moment to be, it communicates with the hypothalamus. It will dump billions of neuropeptides in your blood system, and it will circulate instantly to every cell in your body, and it docks with a cell in your body, and it gives the chemically encoded instructions from your brain that this moment means this moment means that. What most neuroinhibitors do, you've heard that term, what they do is they are chemically built by pharmaceutical companies to dock easier in your cell system and lock up that receptor in that cell for a longer period of time than your natural neural hormones do. And it has no chemical instruction. So basically, it's putting a mute button on the brain. And now the brain is talking to cells saying, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. The cells can't hear it. But at the same time, they can't hear for the few moments that you might have of laughter and joy. It can't hear that either. One of the largest downsides for the client work that I've seen is clients come in and say, well, I'm not as depressed as I used to be. That's a good thing, but I'm very flat. I don't feel happy. I don't feel joy either. And that is because you are neurally inhibiting what's taking place in this process. Now, the question to be asked is, are you broken? Is there something biochemically broken with you that you need to take neuroinhibitors? When you talk about the physiology of a craving or the physiology of what's taking place in your body, the body is so amazingly efficient that in clinically depressed people, they will look at the cellular structure, and where the average healthy cell has about 1,000 neuroreceptors, depressed people are down to like 6. Because the body just goes, why have the other 994 here? We never hear from them. We never use it. So it begins to manufacture cells without it. So sometimes when people fight not to be depressed, they do have a physical challenge. I'm going to talk to you about how to overcome that physical challenge.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this. Now, back to Bill.
Are you biochemically broken and therefore you are clinically depressed? Or do you have strategies for depression and as a consequence you become biochemically broken? And the cool thing about the chicken and egg argument is it has no beginning and it has no end. And to solve this strategy problem for you, there is no beginning nor end. You can change blood chemistry through neuroinhibitors, and you can change how you think and how you create reality, and you will begin to change your blood chemistry. A significant number of clinically depressed and bipolar depressed patients, divided them into 4 study groups. Group number 1 got placebos. Group number 2 got their meds. Group number 3 got nothing. And group number 4, they had to smile hundreds of times a day. And they had to count it. So as you sit and listen to this, maybe create with me, 3 or 4 little kind of smiles here. Are you ready? Can you watch this? Ready? Got one. Big smile. Big smile. It feels silly when you're doing it, but I can assure you, if you're clinically depressed and you're at home and it's day 1 of this trial, this is not a very fun exercise for you to do. Now, over the course of the study, which was 2 months long, which group do you think had the most order of improvement? And it was significant. It wasn't even a percentage increase. It was almost an order of magnitude increase. Yeah, because the smiling physiology, you're hardwired. Your brain and your emotions are hardwired to your body. You cannot be depressed if you're in happy physiology. If you stay in happy physiology, it begins to force biochemical changes into your body. This is something that most pharmaceutical companies do not want you to be aware of. And this just hit the news within the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys caught this. It was certainly on MSNBC News in a number of places, but they are studying talk therapy with psychiatrists, and they're looking at the amount of therapy versus pharmaceuticals. And as our pharmaceutical usage has gone up in this country, therapy being done by the psychiatrist and the psychological community has gone down dramatically. As pharmacology's gone up, therapy has gone down. We're no longer working on psychologically solving our issues. We are relying on pharmaceuticals. And what you're going to discover if you choose to run this process is that you have complete command and control over your reality creation process. We got a couple of minutes. Shauna, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks. I wanted to ask if you were familiar with Gary Craig's work. He wrote a book called Emotional Freedom Technique.
EFT, absolutely. He's a great man.
Is it really true? I mean, it seems almost too good to be true, some of the things he talks about.
It is absolutely true. The founder of that technology is a gentleman by the name of Roger Callahan. And what Callahan proposes is that tapping patterns on the acupuncture meridians of your body, if you follow tapping patterns, and if you've heard of EMDR, which is a very well tested, they're doing a ton of EMDR on returning Iraqi vets. It has some of the same energy meridian components to the theory and to the outcomes. Callahan said you had to follow specific patterns. Gary Craig works is about, no, you do not have to follow patterns. It's merely tapping on the meridians. And where Callahan's work is very detailed, Craig's work has 1 or 2 techniques. It's got phenomenal results. Like all technologies, it's not foolproof. You'll find some people that say that it didn't work for them. But in general, Shauna, it's an amazing technology and has done great, great work for people in really unexplainable ways.
Well, that's good to hear. One of the things that I was interested in with his book is that he says that one of the important things about energy healing is that people can self-sabotage the healing work. In other words, they're saying to you, maybe the healer, I want to end this allergy, but deep inside they're afraid of maybe the responsibility that they'll have if they are free of it. I just wonder if you'd speak on that, the self-sabotage aspect of wanting to be healed.
Oh, great question, Shauna, and I'm going to speak really fast. There's a great description that I do in my work about many overweight people, do they want to be thin? And I talk about this because in reality, food doesn't have the same chemical addiction components to it that nicotine or alcohol does. And the fact of the matter is, while they really do at one level want to be thin, at a deeper level, they do not. And I'll give you a great example why. A lot of clients that come to see me, Their whole lives they've been recording, when I'm thin, I'm going to be amazing. When I'm thin, I'll have a new job. When I'm thin, I'm going to have a great relationship. Well, every diet they try virtually works, and as they begin to lose weight in another yo-yo cycle, that unconscious neural pathway they have programmed, when I am thin, I'm going to be amazing, kicks in and says, you got to quit your job. You got to ask out that model-licious person that you've seen every morning at Starbucks. You know, you've got to be amazing now. And people will go, I'm not amazing now. I will be, but not now. Not yet. I'm not ready yet for that. And the ego fear-based models that also has neural pathways will push back against that overweight person desire to be diet. And that's how the neural programming for self-sabotage works. My last message, if you think you cannot be fixed or you think you're going to struggle through life the way you are, it is not necessarily true. You are not broken. You never were. You are a being of unlimited potentiality. You can change, and you can change powerfully. It's out there. It's available.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this.